Yeah, my name is Rodney Mukai. I'm a realtor and a partner at Locations. Locations is one of the longer or the larger companies in Hawaii. I've been with the company for 46 years, all 46 years with the same company. We have an agent staff of about 300 and a support staff about 75. There was a special session that Pastor Cal was able to arrange for business leaders and leaders in the schools and in government also. And at that meeting, I was able to bring 3 partners along with me. And it was at that time that we recognized that yes, even in our organization, we do have generational differences. And for us to be able to understand that and communicate with each other better is something that can help production in our company. Yeah, as a result of the Kylo conference, we started to plant seeds at our workplace. You know, we've now do a book reading of Kylo, Keep Your Love On. We do this as a brown bag meeting because we've recognized that we do have millennials and Generation X's and baby boomers like myself, and how we communicate with each other has become difficult. And so we're learning how to keep our love on and communicate in a different manner. Many times we try to control others. And what we're learning is that you really cannot control others, or you should not control others, but you should empower others. And this message is what we're trying to implement in our workplace. We're finding that managers and the staff, the support staff and the transaction managers, just being able to communicate better can bring along a lot more productivity. As you know, in most businesses, productivity is very important. And so many businesses start to implement new programs, new technology to try to increase productivity. What Danny has brought to us is a new message. There's a different component that we've often overlooked, and that is we can increase productivity by increasing our connectivity with each other. So we're doing that right now. We're trying to empower others so that they can be more productive. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mikayla Kobayashi. I'm a middle school science teacher and also one of the youth leaders here at MGMC. And going to the Kylo conference has really brought so much transformation to my life and to my family. I didn't really grow up in a really healthy family. My parents struggled with substance abuse and they didn't have the healthiest marriage when I was growing up. So when I was 11, I actually moved out of my family's home, and I was taken in by some extended family members, and they raised me. But just growing up, you know, there's a lot of trauma as a kid. And going to the Kylo conference, and especially on Friday night when Sherry Silk shared about her experience with her dad, and she shared about how even though she had forgiven her dad for some things, she had still kept him in a box and at a distance. And when she was speaking, I just totally resonated with everything that she was sharing, that I had done that with my parents, that I love my parents so much and I've forgiven them for a lot of things that had happened to me as a child. But I also recognized that I had kept my parents in a box, and I would only let them come as close as I wanted them to come. But it was really difficult for me to really open my heart. And I would say to myself and to people, I'm healed, I'm good, I've resolved my problems, my childhood issues, I'm a happy kid now. But that night, something just stirred in my heart, and God had shared with me in one of my devotions actually earlier in the week, and God had told me, Mikayla, your family just needs you to be a daughter. And that didn't make sense to me until Friday night when Sherry spoke, and I just felt that coming back, those words, Mikayla, your parents just want you to be their daughter. And so a couple days later after the conference, I called my dad. It was his birthday, and I was just wishing him a happy birthday. And normally my conversations with my dad are pretty brief, but that night something in my heart just kind of opened and I just felt this desire to want to connect with my dad. And actually, for the first time, I had let my dad into my life, and I was able to share with my dad, like, Dad, I've been teaching. I love teaching middle school kids, and this is how my marriage is going, and this is what's going on in my life. And really, for the first time, I let my dad see me as a daughter, and I just let my dad be my dad. And and that is just something that I just want to thank the Silks for giving me that courage to call my dad and to restore that relationship with him, and to let my dad out of the box that I put him in. So, yeah.
My name is Leslie Kurata. I am 37 years old and I'm married. I have 2 young children, 2 little boys, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. So I also have a part of what really defines me as a person is that I'm a career woman too. I work as a recruiting manager at a financial institution here in Hawaii, and for the first time in my life, I have really hit the ceiling as far as using or expending all of my energy. I feel like I use all my energy at the end of the day, and it creates a lot of feelings of guilt and frustration because I want to be able to give my all to my boys and to my husband as a mother and a wife, but because my job can be so mentally draining, it oftentimes I'll come home and I don't have anything left as far as energy to give to my family. So that's really the conflict or challenge that I've been dealing with personally. And so that's why I've been chatting or talking story with a lot of the pastors here at my church, just because I've been so excited. I did have a breakthrough at the Kylo conference, especially with the session on day 3, where Danny Silk was talking about boundaries and prioritization. So of course I understood all of those concepts and I applied them all at my job, and most specifically, I've been practicing those types of things, such as using the 4 disciplines of execution to try to be a top performer at my job. And hearing Danny talk about it made me realize that those same principles hold true at home, and actually it should be starting at home with my husband. And of course with God first and then with my husband from there. That's how I should be setting my priorities, not setting my priorities based on the goals I'm trying to hit at work, because then I'm always going to be imbalanced and I'm actually it's like I'm inadvertently creating a conflict for myself because I'm always prioritizing work when work really isn't the most important thing to me. A week after the conference, Chance and I, my husband and I, we created our own couples retreat. We went to the island of Molokai for 5 days, and we took our journals, we took the Kylo book, Danny's book, with us, and every day there's not much to do on Molokai. If you've ever been there, there's really not much to do. So it was a beautiful setting, and it just allowed us to be there by ourselves. Chance and sister watched the boys, so they were safe here in Honolulu, and we really got to reconnect as a couple and had many discussions that started from things that we read in the Kylo book. And so it was like a strategic team meeting for us as a family and a couple to talk about what's important to us, what goals we need to set, and how to prioritize. And it felt so good to do it from the family viewpoint rather than just from work. So one of the goals that we set was to have a regular date night. I mean, it's something so basic. Every successful couple that I've talked to says that that's a must do, and we've kind of fallen off of that habit. I don't know. We've never really had a regular date night. and we've kind of been trying to utilize friends and family. So it's still a work in progress. It just happened, but a big spiritual shift has happened in my marriage. And it all started with Chancellor and I getting baptized together. The Kylo conference helped us to take advantage of the momentum and build even more momentum. So thank you. I was very blessed from all of the sessions.